You ready for Kick?
I can't wait for Kick. I don't want to get past tonight. Every time that we have a special here at Wrestling Open, you see a bigger crowd, more energy, wilder matches, and I can't believe that this one even got added to the card.
Well, if people want to see high flying, they want to see an aerial spectacle, I think it is about to be on display in one of the most explosive ways. We are seeing the young prodigy, Marcus Mathers.
Sponsored tonight by Jeff Pedersen, MD, from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, weighing at 170 pounds, Philly's finest, the young prodigy, Marcus Mathers!
Marcus Mathers is a person who competes at Wrestling Open when he has the opportunity, when he has the chance, and he has made it one of his favorite places all over the United States to compete. And you can hear the love given right back to him from the fans here at the White Eagle.
Yeah, this 20-year-old athlete keeps a pretty busy schedule, huh? He's going to be going to Japan in the spring.
Yeah. They have wrestling in Japan?
I can't even imagine. You know what I was doing when I was 20 years old? I was backyard wrestling, not wrestling in Japan professionally.
To quote you, fotting around.
Yeah, fotting around, playing fots in my fudgies.
I don't want to know what that means, and
I don't know, somebody in college said it. That's what I heard when I was 20.
Well, we're not going to mess around here as Marcus Mathers making his entrance ready to compete against one of his best friends. To compete against somebody, I believe the last time we saw this was at Beyond Wrestling in Somerville, actually. When at the beginning of Wrestling Open, Marcus had his run-in with every member of the Miracle Ones. There was a little question as to whether Marcus was on the up and up with some of the endings of those matches, but it turned out he was. They settled everything, and now we're going to get this one-on-one match here at the finish line.
Almost 2 years in the making, going back all the way to Beyond Wrestling Monkey Business. That was March 13th, 2022. Here we are in 2024.
And his opponent, sponsored tonight by Colonial Pewter, from Maryland, Connecticut, weighing at 172 pounds. He is the co-holder of the IWTV Tag Team Championship, Dustin Waller!
As this crowd also coming alive for somebody who has made his home at Wrestling Open each and every Thursday, one half of the IWTV Tag Team Champions. Flash did not have the Best of Jumbo Grand Prix, but he also had Alec Price and Tyree Taylor in his block. Kylon King getting a little further along in that tournament, making the quarterfinals before falling to Tyree as well. So this is a big chance for both of these competitors to bounce back after that disappointing tournament for them.
We want to thank Jeff Pedersen, MD, for sponsoring Marcus Mathers, Colonial Pewter for sponsoring Dustin Waller. And to your point, Paul, Dustin Waller not going too far in the Jumbo Grand Prix, but Marcus Mathers didn't even qualify. He didn't, 24 singles competitors chosen to vie for the finals that we will see tonight. The winner getting a shot at the Wrestling Open title. So you're going to wonder if Marcus Mathers, wants to knock off Dustin Waller tonight to try and thrust himself back in an opportunity for the Wrestling Open title.
And you think having a big chip on your shoulder would be part of that. And Marcus, he's a very prideful person. Hold on. Thought there was going to be a pinfall attempt here, as maybe that high-octane match we didn't end up seeing in our opener is about to be put on display here.
Again, all it takes is 3 seconds to beat your opponent. I want to thank everybody for joining us on IWTV. At some point in your life, you've got to come to the Wrestling Open events here every Thursday night at White Eagle in Worcester, Massachusetts. As good of a job as our crew does at IWTV, nothing captures the energy of being here in the room. Of course, going to be right back here this Sunday for the Beyond Wrestling Kick Super Show. Dustin and Kylon going to be going 2-on-2, defending the IWTV tag titles against Waves and Curls. Marcus Mathers finds himself in a no disqualification match against Richard Holiday. But you got two fan favorites here, and perhaps I spoke too soon, Paul. Again, the desperation of what it takes to put yourself back into contention for the Wrestling Open title. Marcus Mathers does not have a belt around his waist like Dustin Waller does.
Wow, look at that misdirection. Marcus thought he was going one way, he went the other. And Mathers very frustrated by the antics of Flash Waller, who is very cool and collected.
Well, Marcus Mathers could have taken another cheap shot there. And Dustin Waller, I think, laid the trap. Marcus ran right into it and gets wiped out with a flying back elbow.
As Dustin hearing it from this crowd, the energy in here is wild. Hold on. To the floor.
Not even
down
5
goes
minutes into the
Marcus
match.
Mathers.
Taking a big risk like that, especially somebody like Marcus Mathers.
And even though we talked about Marcus Mathers potentially having a chip on his shoulder, you know Dustin has it too, especially being one of the 24, going in, being in a block that was so high profile and coming up empty. You know he wants to go back in and make a name for himself in the singles ranks.
Got a lot at stake. Every single match here at Wrestling Open. Every single match. As Dustin Waller now picking up Marcus Mathers. Looking for a standing strike. Connects with that knife-edge chop across the chest. Marcus Mathers sent reeling into the ropes. And Marcus is probably his most effective, Paul, when he's stringing together that combination offense.
A lot of people look at Marcus Mathers as a high flyer, and no doubt he can certainly do that. But I actually think he's most effective a lot of ways as a striker. I think he's underrated in that sense, because I think when you come up in a place like H2O Academy, you really need to be tough. You really need to know how to throw bombs. So I think Flash, even though these two are probably going to take to the air at some point, needs to watch out for those strikes.
I agree. I mean, Marcus Mathers, 20 years old, he's got scars on his body that are going to stay with him for the rest of his life. Perhaps Dustin Waller is going to be leaving a few here tonight with these chops.
And now Dustin starting to talk, and Marcus taking exception to that and went for a chop. Marcus lowered his head.
Yeah.
He just got chopped in the head.
He got chopped in the head, chopped in the chest. He's getting chopped all over.
Yeah, and I think Dustin really felt it there. When you're throwing one of those chops, your hand, your body has an expectation to hit flesh, the chest, not somebody's head bone. Here comes Mathers. Well, I talked about his striking, and there we go.
Yeah, but Marcus Mathers, his nickname ain't Flash. You know what I mean? Dustin Waller, I think, is still the quicker of these two, but Marcus is going to prove that he can fly with the best of them.
Takes to the sky, incoming on the dive. Marcus Mathers connects. Down goes Flash Waller, and Mathers is getting on a roll here.
We got ourselves a match.
And even though these two took to social media and said, man, I can't wait to go in there with one of my best friends, those competitive juices always take over at some point, and I think we're starting to see that right here as Mathers and Flash go one-on-one.
Yeah, that friendly banter has turned to fists of flying right now. Flash Waller set with that backdrop suplex onto the apron. Like it's hooked. Second away from picking up the victory is Marcus Mathers.
And of course, Marcus is heading into this Sunday in a no disqualification setting against Richard Holiday. So he really is going from one style of offense to another this Sunday. You have to wonder if Holiday's in the back of his head, especially since Richard Holiday had a big hand in helping Dustin Flash Waller start out in this industry.
Always a factor, of course, as Marcus, again, just a second away from picking up a victory. Harkening back to the start of tonight's broadcast, where the Love Doctors were victorious in under a minute, Marcus Mathers also defeated Richard Holiday very quickly back at Beyond Wrestling Lights Camera Wrestling. Replay available anytime on IWTV. That match also available at youtube.com/Beyond Wrestling. Holiday asked for the match to be restarted. When he could not best Marcus Mathers, he went low. So we're going to see these two go at it one more time this Sunday at Beyond Wrestling Kick, streaming live on IWTV at 6 o'clock Eastern. Tickets are $30 in advance, $40 at the door. And Dustin Waller, he's got a big weekend too, but he will have his partner Kylon King in his corner when he defends the IWTV Tag Team titles against Waves and Curls.
Waves and Curls, they have a grudge match later tonight against the Kellys. A lot of history there.
A lot of impact on that kick.
Goes for the cover. And usually, I would advise someone to go for the cover right away, but I think Marcus had a little bit of momentum he could have added there, but I can't disagree with the tack to at least try the cover.
I think we're seeing a lot of strategy of these guys trying to throw each other off their game. Since they do their homework, they have an idea of what's coming, and especially the way that Marcus puts together his combination offense, and I don't know, it's like back and forth, you know?
They know each other so well that sometimes you start to overthink things.
Yeah, sure, but the match keeps speeding up, then it's slowing down, then it's speeding up, then it's slowing down. It's like, as soon as one of them feels comfortable, okay, I'm going to be pushing the throttle as a high flyer, it's like, no. That's the game that he wants me to play. Let me chop him in the chest. And I do think that bouncing around their strategy a little bit has kind of made it difficult for anybody to really build momentum in this matchup, Paul.
And I think it's an interesting tact here for Marcus to slow things down. Usually these two really go in there like two race cars going around at 100 miles an hour, but Marcus now maybe learning for the better. And that chop had Richard Holliday's name all over it this Sunday at Beyond Wrestling Kick, but it also had Dustin Flash Waller down on the mat.
Dustin Waller getting all fired up right now, but he's got to fight back. He leaves himself vulnerable. He got pulled by the head and wiped out again with a chest chop.
Dustin back up.
Yeah, but look at the power, the impact behind these chops. For every 5 chops, it's about as effective as one of Marcus's.
Well, Flash going to have to be the one to put combinations together.
And that was a good combo with that attack to the back of the head. That's a new one from Flash as far as I'm concerned.
There is the clothesline in that corner. Could he take to the sky? Springboard into the elbow. On the top of the forehead. Flash is not done.
If you look for that running shooting star press, no, instead elevating himself to the top rope. Marcus Mathers writhing in pain on the mat. Dustin Waller trying to find his footing. He's looking for the Flash splash. Marcus out of the way.
Picks him up. Sits out with it. Shoulders down. Hooks the leg.
The Michinoku driver, Paul, one of the most effective holds in all of professional wrestling. The impact right into the pin disorients your opponent. Not much time to escape. Gonna give Marcus Mathers credit. He's still alive in this matchup here tonight at the finish line. Use that hashtag WrestlingOpen if you're following the action on IWTV. Doing this every Thursday forever, even WrestleMania weekend. We're not going down to Philly. We're gonna be here on Thursday, April 4th, Worcester, Massachusetts. I'm telling you, Paul, nowhere else in the world I would rather be.
And now Dustin Waller, the one slowing down, trying to recover after that barrage from Mathers, but he had his back turned too long. Didn't learn the lesson that RJ Rude found out in our opening contest. You cannot turn your back for too long here at Wrestling Open.
Of course, Paul, we say every Thursday forever, but also sometimes Saturday. Saturday, March 16th, we're going to be debuting Wrestling Open in Cambridge, Massachusetts, a doubleheader with ICW No Holds Barred, and tickets go on sale tomorrow for that event.
And now Flash has Marcus down on that mat. He's going to go for another springboard. He wants Mathers to be on his feet when he drops that final hammer.
I was going to say, what do you think the benefit is of the springboard? Instead of coming off the top rope, but we saw he had his sights set on rebounding with that handspring cutter. Marcus had it scouted. Now with the schoolboy, Dustin rolled through. Oh, just get taken down with the ace crusher.
Hits the cutter, and now Marcus, here comes another combo. Hits the kick. He is moving. Here we go. Sits out with it. That is all. Flash out at 2. Mathers cannot believe it. I thought that was a wrap, DC.
Paul, these are two of the guys that are going to be pushing professional wrestling into the future. What a pleasure it is to host this match here as the fans are calling out at Wrestling Open.
As the fans showing their appreciation for the athletic endeavor, for all of the effort that these two are putting forth here at the finish line. Coming into this match, essentially no issues between the two, but they want to go out there, show that killer mentality, and prove that they are the better man tonight.
I also think, knowing that every match tonight has a 20-minute time limit, I think that it allows for a different strategy coming in to the matches, as Marcus is taking more of his time because he doesn't want to make another mistake. But
Flash could be out.
Yeah, that powerbomb was devastating. We'll have the official check on it, see if he's going to call off the match.
Referee Tyler Calloway says he's okay to continue, and now Marcus Mathers trying to amp himself up.
Based on what?
To put his friend away. He has to amp himself up to do what he needs to do.
I think Flash is playing possum right here. He knows from this position he can get hit with a bozo buster. He's going to hang on for dear life to Marcus's leg. And that was crossing the line right there, a little bit disrespectful. The back chops from Marcus Mathers. Showing a little bit of desperation, Paul.
As here we go, going to talk to Dustin Waller before he puts him out, telling him that no matter what, even though we're friends, this isn't about that. This is about showing that I am the better man here, and saying, literally, I want it more.
Near capacity crowd, White Eagle, Worcester, Massachusetts. Marcus Mathers taking a lot of time here. He's got to put Dustin away. It's now or never.
There's a big forearm, flashes down. Is he out? As Marcus standing his ground in the center of the ring.
I'm telling you, the official sees something that Marcus doesn't, or else Marcus would be going for the kill right now.
As here we go. What is he calling for now?
Really winding up, really telegraphing his forearm.
Maybe he's just gonna go straight right. Oh no, he got caught with one of his own. He's on wobbly legs.
Split second position from Flash Waller.
Kick to the midsection. Blocks it. Didn't block that one. Clothesline by Mathers. Here we go. They're not done.
Nasty landing on that clothesline. Waller grabs a hold of the trunk, looking for a cutter of his own. And it's Mathers that connects with the cutter again. Did he get on enough of it?
Looked more like a stunner there. Hold on.
Even with the legs crossed, Marcus able to kick out. Huge spinning kick. Follows it up with an enziguri. Paul, this action almost too fast to call.
Poison Rana. He stuffed him neck first. Into the cutter. And Flash isn't done.
Oh, that's a big gap that Flash is going to try and cross.
Flash splash.
Hell of a win from Dustin Flash Waller.
The time of the fall, 13 minutes, 26 seconds. Your winner, Dustin Flash Waller.
That is one of the most signature wins for Dustin Waller I have ever seen in the singles ranks for him, especially after that tournament where he went 0-2. This is a huge bounce back for Flash.
Let's see if he can ride that momentum. Miracle Generation versus Waves and Curls this Sunday at the Beyond Wrestling Kick Super Show.
As Flash telling Marcus to come on back in. Well deserved here. I mean, listen, they don't have any beef. The only thing they wanted to do was win, and sometimes after the heat of combat, you gotta just let it go and move on.
Tensions rising high. Marcus Mathers, like you said, you don't know the relationship between Holiday and Dustin Waller, but I think Dustin's out here his own man here tonight. Marcus Mathers knows tonight the better man won, but we'll see if that's going to be the case this Sunday. Very different environment, a no disqualification match.
That was as advertised and much more. I think these two gave it absolutely everything. Folks, let's take a look at what led to our first 5-minute challenge.